Hello, Gemini! Straight up, I'm sorry your reading is behind. It's a little bit late, I know. I've had a little bit of adversity in my own life. You guys believe I cracked my molar and my radiator on the same day? It was a crazy Sunday. So I've been doing my best to, get to my job, take care of my personal life, my kids, and then get these readings out on time. So I want to say thank you guys for your patience. And I appreciate you guys for all your views and your support. Gemini, the sign has been tremendous for the amount of views and love you send my way, so I want to send it back to you. All right. You're the last sign that I'm reading for in this mid-July set. This might just be me talking about my own burdens. Don't worry about that. We're going to pop that flipper back in. And I just want to let you guys know that the tarot deck giveaway that's happening on the next roundtable video, and I'm doing that one after this one. So thank you guys for hanging in there and being patient, Gemini. We're asking tarot, what are the hidden and healing messages for Gemini mid-July 2017? Any stuck energies, please reveal it, tarot, for Gemini. Any messages that Gemini needs to hear for this mid-July general reading. You guys, I want to wish you all the best in your abundance, your health, your understanding, and your relationships at this point in time. It's always my intention to well wish you for these readings. And I want you guys to set your intention for these readings so we have a little bit of direction on the receiving end. And I want to remind you guys that the readings are for entertainment purposes only. If something's really dogging you, you know what? You'll need much more than what I can do here over the internet, But it's always good to get these cards down and have a look and see what's going on for those people that identify or are cross-watching for the sign of Gemini. As always, don't forget to check out the ascending and your moon signs as well. There could be messages for you there. All right, let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. Wow, and we pulled the old dirty dirt, number 15, the Devil. And what is it doing here in your overall energies? This card is a card of bondage. This sort of signifies some level of density or contraction in a situation as well when it's in your overall environment. Some of you may not be feeling very liberated at this time. Some of you might straight up be watching this from a jail cell. Some of you might be in a situation where, Gemini, maybe that certain side of you or that half of you that comes out and is very sort of direct, analytical, very down-to-earthy, very let's push forward regardless type energy is out and abound for you. And I want to make sure that we haven't been neglecting any issues of self-care at this time, whatever that may be. And there may be some certain levels of fear or worry that have crept in here. The Devil is always a signifier of worry or false accusation that has creeped into a situation. Somebody might have. This could as well mean lies or theft as well. It's something that's leaving you feeling less liberated than you were before. So, to see this up in the overall energy, it just means we got to get to the heart of the matter here. We got to get to the root of the issue. We've got to reach down and pull out, extract whatever metaphorical weed has invaded our healthy crop, our healthy mind, our healthy heart, our healthy soul, and we've got to try and remove it, okay? And if it's something physical that's keeping you bound, such as an addiction, or a certain attitude, limiting belief system or structure to a situation, we have to do our best to sort of circumnavigate it at this time. And we'll try and relate back to that as we go through your cards, okay? This card position here, it's good that it shows up here because it reminds me to explain for you guys from time to time that this card is sort of like the subconscious, the countercurrent, what's in the undertow, what's going on that we're not aware of or that we can't see really, and it's just kind of in a general sort of background or what we're actually moving through, kind of, right? It's not reflective of us per se, but this is reflective of the atmosphere around us, kind of thing. So there could be a lot of temptation at this time for you guys. There could be like a lot of like non-resistance to slipping into old bad habits, things of that nature. There could be like friends that you've cut out your life that have recently come back and maybe you've forgotten the reason why you cut them out of your life in the first place, as cycles trying to regenerate and draw you back in, things of that nature. All right, let's move on. Let's see what's up in your grounding card. We've got the 9 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, So some of you could be feeling that this is a time where you are reconnecting with old friends, with people from your past. The Nine of Pentacles is somebody that kind of like finally gets up and kicks open the front door and puts on a nice new set of clothes to go out and make a good impression, or put their best foot forward in regards to being social, okay? This could be some overspending that is occurring as well for some of you on things that are not overly important, all right? And for me, if they're not important, if they are important to you, I can't tell you how do you live your life. I can't tell you what you should buy and you shouldn't buy. This card is just saying that there might be just a little bit of being like too flagrant with spending, and then balancing the books at the end of the day might be a little bit tricky. We have to kind of what we want to watch for our pleasure spending kind of thing versus like meeting our needs and maybe the needs of children. And there also could be situations where people are kind of using you as a walking ATM potentially as well. You have to want to watch for those relationships where you're there just to facilitate somebody, and you may be thinking, yeah, the companionship's nice, everything is in agreement, and I'm having a good time, but you want to make sure that you're choosing your relationships wisely at this time, and as well as the things that you do in this relationship, right? It's like it's great to be dating and to like be out and social again, but can we do it at like Les Français 5-star restaurant a few nights a week where we're buying $30 plates of lobster, and like maybe some of you are just kind of realizing like maybe life in the fast lane or the life of luxury. It's kind of like it's nice to have it once in a while, but maybe like balancing it out has been very difficult, very tough. Some of you as well might just be feeling like you're sick and tired of being single, and like you may just have a situation where you're overcoming maybe self-esteem issues, self-confidence issues, and going back into the dating game again. But there could be levels of trust that you're needing to get over them again, or you're needing to move past the fact that you may have been hurt in an old relationship or a situation and come into it without any sort of preconceived notions that things are destined for failure or that things are destined to repeat each other, right? This 9 is a card of change, but the reversal on it is saying that you have to sort of envision that change. You have to trust that the change will occur, whether it's in yourself or other people, in order for that change to occur. So if it's a position of going from single to being in a relationship, or from being in a relationship for a long time to maybe being single again, some of you might be widowed recently, and you may be feeling some hurt at this time, or feeling like you've been dealt a heavy blow and things of that nature, and there's a larger adjustment period that's occurring. And if that is your case, if you're one of those few Gemini that message is appropriate for, take care of yourself, you guys. Eat properly. Make sure you're watching your finances. Make sure that you're sort of tending to all of the little details that you need to, so that nothing can come back to bite you further down the road, okay? 9 of Pentacles reversed, up and grounding. Now we've got Page of Cups up in our creative center in our sacral area. So how do we feel about a situation? How are we feeling about the people in our lives and what we're doing with our sort of our emotional energy, so to speak, right? If we're feeling worried, is that worry justified? Is there a reason behind it? If we're feeling afraid, is this due to our own selves and our own conditioned mind, or is somebody doing this to us, right? It can be, those things can be hard to see into, not only for me as a reader, but for you as a person, right? Like with this fishy, what is this fishy doing? Is it like actively speaking in English back to this person or into a language they can understand? Are they trying their best to bond with something that is just not compatible with them in this Page of Cups? Or is there some complete harmony that is there that just needs to be realized, right? When we become narrowly focused on how we feel towards one situation, sometimes we need to take back and we say, well, how do we feel in general? How do we feel overall? Are we feeling sick? Are we feeling tired? Are we feeling run down? And does that give misdirected emotional energy towards the narrowed situation, whether that be Peter, Paul, or Mary, or, the fact that XYZ occurred, that kind of thing. Page of Cups, there's a bit of naivety too. So some of you might even be in a situation where you are having maybe some passionate, loving times with a water sign, and the, physically, sexually, everything might be going very good. And as well, you might just be in a bit of euphoria or ecstasy around yourself at this time with a water sign. And this person could be younger than you. This could be like someone that's coming across as a little bit dreamy. This is also be aware of people that making promises to you at this time, telling you that they'll take care of you, telling you that you have nothing to worry about, that they're your Romeo, or they're your one and all, and that kind of thing. And part of you is just like, yeah, right, keep the pillow talk coming, keep it coming, Charlie. I like put the proof in the pudding, so to speak, right? When it comes to that sort of stuff. All right, Page of Cups. And for some of you younger viewers out there in Gemini, you may be like coming to terms with this sort of aspect of how you identify with your sign, in the terms that it's like it speaks of the twins. It speaks of like, and it's like a psychologist or a psychiatrist would say, well, even, if you're not at whole, if you're not one, and you're feeling a split division, then that's unhealthy to begin with. But Gemini, I feel like you have this beautiful ability to shift gears, to make situations suit your needs, and to have your needs met by altering, manipulating, and not bad manipulating, but altering the environment around you so that it suits you, sort of thing. And for younger viewers out there, I feel that this is a situation where you may be coming to terms with this power that's in yourself, or how you identify your size. Like, sometimes we take the good, we take the bad, take them both, and there you have the facts of life kind of thing, right? Where it's just like, it's how you're applying yourself, it's how you're coming across, it's how good you feel in the moment. And look at this. This card is accompanied by a good luck clarifier. This card is accompanied by like a rare find, right? This card is a 2 as well, though. So some of you are going to have a decision to make, and some of you are actually going to straight up get lucky. Some of you maybe are going to meet that Romeo or that person where it's like, wow, you can finally feel like the pressure's off of being single, or you can finally feel like, you know what, I don't have to look any further. I don't have to go any farther. I can just rest on my journey at this time and enjoy what I have with that which is around me, right? And if your luck is changing, right, for some of you as well, maybe there is some gambling addiction going on. A message for a few of you. We always got to read the mundane side of the cards. I feel like, some reasons they just like flip cards. They're like, someone's being a jerk. Someone can't accept it. Someone's doing this. Someone's doing that, and that kind of, and that's really easy to see into that. This is sort of channel is for more like tarot for people who are awakening. They're wanting to see the deeper meaning behind the mundane that's occurring, right? And if that's why you're here and that's why you're subscribed, I thank you, Gemini, because that's what I really want to encourage, and that's really my goal for even doing these readings for you guys in the first place. So this Page of Cups is really kind of touching me too, and saying, well, how do you really feel about it? How do you really feel about what's coming into your environment, and how much you're willing to alter versus the things that are beyond your control, and how you feel about that stuff? Okay, let's keep going. We got 5 of Wands up here in our intuitive center. So definitely, when speaking of the mundane and the ticky-tacky nitty-gritty of tarot, we've got the ticky-tacky nitty-gritty card up here in the 5 of Wands. This is a card of competition. This is the card of ill communication, so to speak, where it's like people can't get on the same page to make a realization or solve a problem together. Sometimes there are people that are butthurt because there's a situation where one person is shown favoritism over another in social circles, in workplace situations, or things where everybody's passionate about the same thing, but they're all coming at it and try to climb over each other to get there. It's like, I forget that game where it's like they do that, and it's like a peanut scramble where they throw all the candy out on the field, and then you go watch the kids push each other out of the way to try and get the best mojo or the best rocket candy in the bunch kind of thing. It's like that kind of feeling with this. It's like the gates at the harness racing have been opened, and all the carts or the horses are flying out, and they all look so beautiful together, but there's this independence, there's this individuality that is meeting with adversity or opposition because everybody is in this individuality. This time of year, I feel, Gemini, it's like the collective is kind of like, it has like a mini shakeup. Like people, like unless you're in a very advanced spiritual community or people who are keenly aware of like being able to be like, you know what? I'm a jerk. I'm sorry. I can contribute more. I can swallow my pride. A lot of situations that we deal with in the work are not spiritually advanced, where it's like instead of people recognizing their folly or, letting other people go ahead of them, it's just not ingrained in them because they've been taught to either they can have whatever they want, there's a false sense of entitlement, or other people have to do the hard work, but that person certainly doesn't. Somebody's just trying to delegate and get the free ride while other people are putting out the blood, sweat, and tears kind of thing. This card's up in your intuitive center. So at this time, you could as well be evaluating who you can trust, who's on your team, and who would take a stab at you if they were given the opportunity, and that sort of thing. So there is a little bit of protection or sort of awareness that needs to come about when you guys are setting your intention for this reading, and maybe being like, are the people in my life, are they truly there for me, or are they not, sort of thing. And what can I do maybe to get people on my side even? Like some of you might be in a situation where you're like managing a group of people and there's like no accordance, right? Some of you might straight up just have children or siblings that you're fighting with at this time. Or there could be a situation where it's like there are deeper divisions of what two people that have previously worked together now are on separate pages of the book. See this book, my eyes are drawn to this and the clarifier of this book. And the objects that are on different pages, right? So it's like there's a lot here, but then over here there's just kind of like nothing, right? And our eyes, our attention is always drawn to that which is fanciful, that which keeps our imaginations and our spirit in a place of expansion, versus things that might occur over on this side that are limiting, that are contractual, and that sort of snuff out our fire of transformation and our passions for living. So we were really wanting to evaluate and work with others in our situation to make sure that we are able to remain liberated through either material success or through spiritual fulfillment, whatever that might mean. And we also, at this time, I feel we want to watch that if we are in advanced, like people who are awake, those sort of situations, we also want to watch for like people that are just taking the easy way or the path of least resistance, and coming across as they're like a tell-all or a know-all or like some sort of like oracle to our lives, that we should be paying attention to them every waking moment of our life, or we should be giving them all of this respect and accreditation, when maybe you see that maybe they brown-nosed, or maybe they were just one of these person who were perpetually sort of in the right place at the right time, and maybe some of this like a bit of a fraudulent thing going on here, all right, which is what I see. Now, I could write a book about the things I don't know, and that would be the title of my book, Things I Do Not Know by Norman Rad, right? And it would be a 7,000-page novel, but there are a lot people who proclaim to know, like we call them yeah-buts, or people where you say, whoa, did you just turn 103? Because you would have to be at least 103 to know all the things that you claim to know. Or maybe some of you are just dealing with like pathological lying at this time, and you're just like, well, that guy's full of shit, or that person, how can they not realize that they're not being called out for being a liar because it's so completely fact-checkable and not true kind of situation. Let's move on. Eight of Swords reversed. And some of you might just need to do that. Some of you could be just straight up dealing with somebody that is not being honest with you, and they're expecting you to like sort of fall into it or sort of believe it, right? And you've got this situation up in your heart. But this, for many Geminis, I feel, comes back to the situation of, can you get over past hurts? Can you get over past relationships that have went awry and have left you on the short end of the stick and the nitty-gritty, and learn to love again, learn to trust again, learn to be yourself without any kind of sort of jaded or cynical aspect of wanting to just put it all down, wanting to treat it as just a passe, or I've been here, but I've dealt with this kind of bullshit before, right? Where it's just like, this might not be what you're labeling it as. This might not just be as assumptuous as you're making it out to be. We have to be careful with Eight of Swords. Even when it's reversed, it's really nasty when it comes up this way. But we have to be careful when we have Eight of Swords. And this plays into this. It's starting to make sense to me now. that this is sort of like untruth and certain assumptions that have been made with false presumptions, right? We've sort of we've maybe labeled something or generalized something to be one way or another without giving it full credit, without giving it full evaluation, right? And that's unfair. That's why this devil, when there's unfairness, when there's false assumptions, false accusations, things like that, this shows up. And now, with this card being here in the heart, it could just be a situation where we could be making too many presumptions or assumptions that situations of people in our environment in our life are a certain way without giving them a fair shake. Without, we've labeled this in our own mind. We've slept walk through this kind of thing because we presume it to be a certain way. And maybe it's not jumping out and biting you right off the hop, right? But it could get to that point if you kind of like perpetually turn your nose up at something that is like really there for your benefit, right? And you're just not in recognition. These are cards of saying we need to bring more awareness into what we're doing, Gemini. We need to bring more awareness with our presence when we come. It's like being that silent witness where it's like everything just kind of happens. We have to, like, even though we're actively engaged and we're doing it and we're sort of like maybe managing people, managing situations, we need to have that ability to sort of like allow it to be, allow it to take on its own sort of situation without labeling it, without generalizing it, without belittling it for what it is. But yeah, there could be as well. There could be some thievery at hand with these cards. We don't see the 7 of Swords, but we've got 5 of Wands, 8 of Swords, and the Devil up here. So somebody's trying to get away with something. I saw it more so in this clarifier here where it's like somebody might be just feeding people like a line of just garbage, and it's being accepted and touted as the truth or as something amazing. This is like a snake oil salesman type thing, right? Where it's like, yeah, I know, like maybe a long time ago, like clairvoyance and people that would read tarot and charge for readings would be seen as this kind of thing. But what I'm saying for this card is that somebody's trying to get away with some sort of level of promoting themselves onto other people, but there's some sort of false premise behind it. There's some sort of slyness or sneakiness behind it, and there's very few that are strong enough to be able to see it in awareness and stand up to it. There's maybe only like 1 or 2 people that are aware of it at this time, and you might be one of these people that are aware of it, Gemini, and you're having a tough time convincing others that is the way they are, because the assumption is it's so smooth, it's so good, it's so right, it's so true, right, that you're just not seeing it, okay, or the other people in the situation are not seeing it. All right, I'm trying to streamline the readings, Gemini. If I get long in the tooth. They call it long in the tooth. I just blather on forever if I could, but I got to try and streamline this reading. So let's move on and see what's up in communication. All right, so now another big 9, another card of change, the wish fulfillment. This is playing up this side of things a little bit, saying, okay, there are some Geminis that are in awesome new relationships right now, and I want to give you guys a pat on the back. Don't let this honeymoon phase end. Don't get to a situation where you're feeling comfortable and complacent. Well, comfortable is okay, but complacency isn't. So let's keep the passion real. Let's keep it alive. And let's talk to our partners about how do we keep this passion alive? How do we keep this spark real? How do we keep it in the now? How do we keep it from fading away? How do we keep it from things turning out like the last 3 or 4 relationships did for both of you probably? And now that you're finally settled in this here, let's talk about the lessons we've learned. Let's talk about what our expectations are. A lot of times I say don't hold on to expectations, but obviously you want to pursue your happiness. And if you're doing it in a partnership with somebody else and you're making certain considerations, accommodations, and changes because of the fact that you've gone from single to being in a partnership now, we need to keep, well, we have to kind of, sorry guys, I'm not perfect. What I'm trying to say here is that it needs to stay fresh between the two, for communication, right? If I love you, just don't tell somebody that you love them. Tell them the reason why you love them. Tell them, 9 good things about them that, really make you happy. And then you'll be surprised to say, okay, well, here comes a bunch of flowers and a really heartfelt card coming back at you for somebody explaining, why you mean the world to them kind of thing, right? There's a lot of passion, a lot of good sexual chemistry and good attraction going on for you at this time. But there's a lot of assumptuousness and presumptuous maybe going on the other side of yourself, right? Where it's like, is it too good to be true? I'm not going to have a lot of faith in this turning out well, even though it might just be fine, right, Gemini? And leave a comment in the description if that is your situation. I always love to hear from you guys and let me know how these things are hitting or how that's going for you, okay? All right, let's see what's going on in pineal gland, third eye, 7 of Pentacles. Okay, some of you might just be at a little bit of risk of self-sabotage, something good in your life. And I hate to see that, and I hate to say it. I mean, I've been there, I've been guilty of that before for many years of my life. I can relate to this situation where it's like something's going along, and it's like there's really nothing wrong with it, but there might be some misdirected mental or physical energy that makes you believe that you got to get out of it, that it can't be real, it can't be right, it can't be true, it's got to be different. Well, why? Is it truly coming? Is the source of your problem really that which you are thinking it is, or is it being misdirected from something deeper, from something further off in the past or the subconscious, and you're just bringing it into the situation? We have to make a strong evaluation if we are the ones that are doing that, right? We don't want to be the ones that puts an end to something that was truly awesome for ourselves, because then we end up back in that cycle, back in that cyclical situation. But it's funny, like, if you look at these cards, I need to get some better tech, but look at white dresses here, white dresses on white dresses, white dresses, white dresses, right? So for some of you, this could be a situation where it's just like you're really wanting and hoping for the best. You're really wanting to, like, remain in this position of, like, purity and secure in who you are and what you've done. But it's almost like you run the risk of sabotaging it, right? Because a white garment, the stain will show up instantaneous, or it doesn't take much to take a white garment and to taint it, right? To make it not new anymore. And there has to be this ease of allowance to say, okay, I'm willing to get in there. I'm willing to do the dirty work. I'm willing to be in this partnership halfway and give what it takes and take what it gives at the time that it's presented. And I don't have to say, like, well, just because I have something that's awesome and shiny and new, or I've stepped into a new type of energy, that it's only going to be a certain amount of time before it all gets flushed down the toilet, right? Or somebody's coming along to paint your rainbow gray. You don't want that, right? You don't want that kind of energy. I'll tell you a little bit of story if I can. I used to have a loved one, older generation, and they're used to, and she used to say, there's always something to take the fun out of everything, isn't there? And I just kind of be like, what? Really? Is that how you think? Is that how you feel? And, maybe 8 times out of 10 it's true. Something come along to rain on your parade, and you have to accept it. You have to say, okay. But we don't want to be in that situation where we're just presuming that it's going to happen, that things are going to go south, or something as bad as bound to happen because something good has happened. We can stand in gratitude and appreciation and no presumptuous nature and allow let the good times roll, right? Let them move on. Let them go on. Okay, Gemini, whatever that means. We've got number 7 major, the chariot, up here now. And this is an excellent card. This means that you guys are going to be running with it. You guys are going to be taking this energy. You're going to be blowing the competition in the past. This trumps this 5 of Wands energy, and I feel this is the escape of getting away. Now, Gemini, a couple months back, I did a reading where somebody was like enabling or in a bad social situation where, like, laws were being broken and certain situations were coming to a head just because of, like, people were doing some pretty bad stuff, and somehow Gemini was involved. And this card, I feel, is that there's more justice that is yet to be served. There is more justice that is coming. And we could have some law that, like, I'm talking about, like, police that are involved with certain situations here. Whatever that might mean, there's something mundane I'm picking up from these major cards. With the devil and the chariot together, I usually see the fact that, like, there could be some law enforcement involved with a particular situation. Some of you, it might be a domestic situation or dispute, and just stay safe, okay? If that's you, stay grounded, stay safe, do what you got to do to get out of that energy. And if you got a situation where it's like maybe something's coming back to bite you, or you need to like maybe bring clarity to a situation, or make sure that you're enabling or helping justice be served in some sort of situation, because these are things that are beyond your control. These are major arcana. These are the things that are happening to you or that are occurring to you. So this could be a summons. This could be a subpoena. This could be somebody needing to actually leave one area and go to another so that something good can occur, or so that some purpose is served, right? The chariot is like purpose driven. So when we see this from source, it's like you're actually going to be asked by spirit and even like people in your environment to go and do something to effectively make a situation more harmonious, right? And that type of situation. Okay, Gemini, and this is the balance. You see the horses in this and the young girl driving behind them, right? She's very reminiscent of this girl in this particular situation, where once she identifies with her sign, with what she needs to do in order to like be in full control of the power that is inside her, and once she begins to practice to unleash that, be prepared for a bit of a wild, fast ride, or life in the fast lane, I guess, was that song I was picking up on earlier for this reading, that things could start progressing and moving along very fast. Gemini, you're going to be one of these signs that is going to be in all the sort of hubbub or the excitement I feel with the sun going into Leo, where it's like you're going to be trying to accomplish a lot, getting a lot done, moving along very quickly, and maybe, you're not making time for some of the people that you normally would because you're progressing with the energy. You're in a high vibration, a high frequency sort of situation with this chariot card, okay? It's not bad news. It's forward, progressive motion. It's going to be pulling you or pushing you out of it, whatever that might be. And while you're doing it, all in the meanwhile, you're letting go of disillusionment, assumptions, and presumptions, and you're getting in touch with your feeling, and you are in appreciation of the good things that are occurring for you at this time, okay? This Seven of Pentacles, I'd really like to see it up this way, but there's some certain doubts, I feel, certain presumptions, certain situations where you're not into that. And hopefully this reading has helped a few of you get there and look for signs in your environment where you feel old, stale energy, when you feel yourself being brought down somebody else's path or bound to a situation, that you kind of give those horses a little nip and yee-haw, let's get out of here, let's go. We ain't nobody got time for that kind of thing. All right, that was your tarot, Gemini. I love you guys. You're so awesome. All sides of you, right? Even if you were not just two sides, even if you were a dodecahedron, I would love you, 12, 22 times as much, right? Okay, look at this. 22. Wow, you can't write this stuff. I just pulled card number 22, blessed. And look at the beautiful angel that's kind of just there in the ether or out in space. 22 is a powerful number. There's those progressive, like double-digit numbers. I'm going to read from the book, though, because that's the best way to get to the heart of the message that was created with these cards. All right, this is from Oracle, Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. I always give her props because I love how these cards can capstone or bring a reading together at the end, and I just love her for creating these decks. All right, card 22, blessed. Something wonderful that is unearned and unexpected. Grace that is an unforeseen gift from Spirit. There are moments in life when, out of the blue, it seems that everything has been orchestrated by divine intervention. You feel blessed in ways that are difficult to express. It's as if the Red Sea parts in front of you and events come together to banish your troubles easily and naturally. You know deep down that you did not deserve any of it, yet here you are. This is one of those times. Let awe and gratitude for all your blessings guide you now, right? Definitely moving through it. Definitely getting through it, right? By some like sort of stroke of luck or blessed thing that we saw in this story. My fat hands are in the way. These cards, right, are showing you. So these are generally, like, even though we got this up in the overall energy, this has been a positive spread. This has been a positive reading. I just want to make sure that you guys are not in a position where you're assuming anything and you're allowing the blessings to truly guide you and bring you to where you need to be. Gemini, it's been my pleasure. I love you all, and we'll see you next time.